There's something strange about reading through your own content, and one of the things is that it's very, very difficult to spot mistakes because your brain seems to read what you want it to read, not what it's actually reading. And so if you're thinking of doing any sort of Kindle books or anything like that, then I would highly recommend you get them proofread. I didn't get mine proofread to begin with, and if you look through some of the comments for my books, you'll see that one of the criticisms is that people are saying that there's grammar mistakes and spelling mistakes and stuff which I didn't catch, and I went through them at least twice. I mean, some of the reviews go over the top and say that things like it's difficult to take this book seriously when it's so full of grammar mistakes and whatever. But even so, even though I don't think that that's the case, it is good to get them proofread. And the way that I do it with my proofreader is to use Word, Microsoft Word. You can do the same thing with OpenOffice or LibreOffice, which are free office suites. But let me show you how to do it in Word. I write the article or the book and send it off to my proofreader, who then on the review tab clicks on track changes, and then he can go through and he can read my article, and I'll just do a couple of changes here so you can see what happens. The first sentence, back in the 1930 and average character, well, clearly that should be 1930s, so let's just put an S in there, and you can see that Word has now underlined it and put a mark in the margin there to tell me that I've made a change. And if we carry on going down here, we've got another mistake here. We'd effectively need to eat 10 times more carrots than in the 1930 just to, well, I want to get rid of that word the, because what I want it to read is in 1930. So let me just delete that. And you can see now Word has even given a little bit of extra information there. They've put the word deleted, which means that something's been deleted, and it's actually told me what the proofreader has deleted. And then when you save this, and I'm going to just close it and then reopen it, you can see that. So imagine that article's gone to my proofreader, they've made a couple of changes there, and now it's come back to me. And when it comes back to me, you can see that those changes are highlighted within the document. And if I go into the review tab, I can click on next, and that takes me to the next change that the reviewer did. And you can see that there's a change here, and they've added an S. So I can say, well, back in the 1930s, an average character, right? So that's good. So I can click on the accept button, and it automatically takes me to the next one now, and I can approve or disapprove this. I've got the ability to accept it or reject it. And I can see here that if I just read it, we'd effectively need to eat 10 times more carrots than in 1930, and I can see that the word the has been deleted here where that little arrow is. So I had in the 1930, so I can see exactly what I did, and I can accept that. Okay, and then when I accept it, it tells me there's no more errors to or changes to accept in there. So that document's done. Let me just open up. I've just got a book back from my proofreader, one of my Kindle books, which has been out for a number of months now. I didn't get it proofread when I first released it. I did proofread it a couple of times myself, and I had some people email me with a few changes as well. So I did my best to proofread it, and as far as I was concerned, it was in pretty good state, but I haven't even looked at it yet. Let me just open it and see what the proofreader found. Okay, here it is in Dropbox. Let me just open it. Let's go down to the middle of the book somewhere. We can see all of these. Here we go. Let's go back up here a little bit. You can see all of these changes that he's made. And I can accept or reject them. So this first one, he's changed ebooks. I had a capital E. He's changed it for a small e. So we go to the next. For a start, accept that, comma, ebooks. There you go, with a small e now. And you can see here, let's have a look what he's done there. I've got reduces and I had can reduce, he's changed it to reduces. So what my proofreader has basically done is not only has he gone through to proofread it to make sure there's no grammatical and spelling mistakes, he's also redone some of the sentences. It's more like a line editor, redoing sentences sentence by sentence to make sure that it reads as well as it possibly can and there's no ambiguity about what I'm trying to say here. But you can see a book that I thought was pretty good with very little mistakes. You can see how much a professional editor has found. And so I now use this same editor for all of the stuff that I'm putting out on Kindle books. And you can just, you see it just keeps coming and coming. Every single page has all these mistakes. So that's how I do it. I use this track changes in Microsoft Word. As I said, you can use a similar process in OpenOffice or LibreOffice. I think it's not called review changes and track changes. I think you have to do something called record changes or something like that, but it's worth checking out. So that's how I do it. I highly recommend you use an editor. I will post the contact details of the editor that I use. He's pretty much the cheapest one that I found, and he's extremely good as well. So if you want to contact him to proofread your stuff, he does short stuff, long stuff. He even does proofreading and corrections for people who are non-English native speakers, so that takes a bit more work. It's slightly more expensive, but compared to some of the editors that I've looked at hiring, this guy is very, very comprehensive, very professional, and does it for a fantastic price.